Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. And this is an unpackaging video thanks to Jonathan Lindsey. Big shout out to him. Been very nice and generous. I really do appreciate that. And let's get right into it. Sorry a bit out of it because the power went out and I was in the middle of sleeping. And then I'd come to find out they're changing the power line, so still a bit drowsy, so try to snap out of it. Now, I did not look what was in it, but I did open it. Doing it like this so that hide the address. He also has a letter he wanted me to read. And what we have here is, that's nice, a 4K Blu-ray combo pack of heavy metal. Exclusive, let's see, a look back, all new retrospective featuring producer Ivan Reitman, Norman Reedus. Wow, Norman Reedus is a fan. Kevin Smith, but that'd be interesting to see that. Wow, Norman Reedus is a fan. Plus, Ivan Reitman, obviously, is before he passed away. It's got the older features, imagining heavy metal. And be interesting to see how this looks in 4K. Big fan of this movie. One of my favorite films of its year was in 1981. Awesome soundtrack. You have voices of folks like John Candy, Harold Ramis. May they rest in peace. Yeah, heavy metal in 4K. And it was got a Blu-ray as well, so heavy metal. Very cool. I don't even know if I had the Blu-ray of this. Can't remember, but next up is a film. It's an anime film. Waltz with Bashir. Don't recognize this one. But it is an animated film. Israeli veteran of the First Lebanon War. And it's based on his own personal experiences. So it's a real story, but done in this animation style. Like, based on a real story. So that Waltz with Bashir. And finally, that's very cool. Thank you so much for that. The 4K Blu-ray combo of Bullet Train. And that's a cool cover, too. Runaway Train. So, enjoy Bullet Train. Definitely one of my favorites of the year. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoy the dialogue. I enjoy the quick pacing. I thought Brad Pitt was a lot of fun. I thought the supporting cast did their jobs well. It's a very colorful movie. Even had a bit with Sandra Bullock, who I'm a big fan of. Yes, too much CGI. I wanted a little bit more in the finale, but other than that, I did quite enjoy Bullet Train. And a couple little features. There's a commentary with David Leitch, Kelly McCormick, and Zach Olkowitz. Let's see. Yeah, making of. Yeah, Bullet Train. Very cool. Be nice to rewatch this again. It's too bad that because in the era we live in, films like Day Shift with Jamie Foxx, which I like this film, I probably put Day Shift above it, but that film will never get a Blu-ray. Rescue Rangers will never get a Blu-ray. Just how it is. Just Netflix wants you to keep with their program and their subscription if you want to rewatch those films instead of having a physical release, but just how it goes. And he wanted me to read this letter. It's front and back. It's the least I can do. Dear Matt, hope you enjoyed these gifts. I do. Thank you so much. Heavy metal has never looked or sounded better. New sound mix, new restoration from the 35 camera negative. Visuals never looked more stunning. One of my early 90s childhood animated heartthrobs. I saw the movie in Cinemax at 10, going on 11, nearly 30 years ago. Turner never looked hotter than ever. It was a modest success, opened eyes to some animation makers to do adult animations like The Simpsons, yet the movie was not on video for 15 years because of music right issues with the songs and the soundtrack, and was at midnight shows from 1982 to 1995 over the years, even on cable from 83 to 95, like Cinemax, Showtime, HBO, and more, plus on TBS from late 93 to 95, before it had a remastered 1996 reissue in some theaters, and went to video and laserdisc at last in 1996 for its 15th anniversary. I actually didn't know all that. That's pretty interesting. I figured there'd be some issues with the music rights, but I didn't know it was that long of a span of time. That it was 1996 until I got on VHS. Which is funny, then a few years later we're getting into DVD territory and VHS was out. Waltz with Bashir is an interesting adult animated movie that is an animated documentary on war. Bullet Train is one of my favorite films of the year, stays out of woke garbage. Was a blockbuster as this with Top Gun Maverick, Black Phone, and more delivered entertainment with no agenda. I agree with that. I see you're not a fan of Christmas Story, it's alright. It's an alright movie, but Home Alone 1 and 2, Scrooge, Jingle All the Way, etc. are better movies, don't you think? I do agree with that. I do think so. In my opinion, Part 2 sucks indeed. Thanks for the Gremlins commentary. Yeah, that extreme liberal who wrote that article on why she thinks Gremlins is racist and that they represent African Americans is stupid garbage. So I don't trust these activists disguised as journalists. Yeah, for those who don't know, in the Gremlins commentary I was reading up on Wikipedia, which I know is not 100% factual, but just to garner little bits in here. And there's a link to this article where this activist talked about how Gremlins is a racist movie because all the Gremlins act out black stereotypes. The leaps of logic people get to is as grand as the Grand Canyon. Nice commentary on Rocky 4. It's one of the first movies I saw in theaters at age 3, and have fond memories of it having taped off HBO at 4 thanks to my parents, and taped the other 3 movies on TV as a kid. I think it's a genuine classic, and don't you just hate when the 80s is called cheesy? Yes, but I've always hated that word. I think it's an overweighted word. I mean, if you don't bring it up with like Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, Troll 2, I can see. But films like Avenging USA or Rocky 4, no. It's an overused word. Rocky 4 director's cut, I agree, is bland and dull with no personality. Stallone with some other people don't get about the 80s. It was filled with charm, personality, and all the director's cut took. The director's cut took some of that away. I did a discussion on Rocky 4, the director's cut, and it's like the film works how it is. You just take away some of the personality and add in stupid crap and bad filters and less spontaneous sound design and wanty editing. Like there's transitions that worked and you just screwed it up for some reason. Those 80s wannabe films like Censor or It 2017 think they want to be the 80s with big hair, clothes, play a song, or play a Nintendo game equals the 80s. No. It's sincerity that matters, and that's why some of these wannabe 80s movies fail, as they are making fun of what they are trying to honor. They don't sincerely love or truly love it. That's why they fail. Well, that, and also I think people, they don't really get what the 80s were, and so they go overboard with it as well. Like, a lot of us lived the 80s, and it was, I mean, maybe you remember some weird carpet or some wood panels on your wall, but you don't remember They remember like their idea of the 80s. Like Stranger Things is not how it was in the 80s. Joker 2019, Mandy, Final Girls, and a few more examples of 80s set movies that don't feel like parodies of the 80s but sincerity in them. Well, I don't know if Mandy and them were set in the 80s, but I get what you mean. I know Joker was, but I don't think Mandy is, but I get what you mean. Love the Garfield Christmas special for 35 years since I was 5, as I watched the specials and shows since I was a kid. Such Tim Conroy died. That was heartbreaking for a long time fan for 30 years since I was 10. And nice review on Aladdin. I saw that 3 times in theaters at age 10 and dug it. My favorite Disney animated movie too. Barbarian had potential, but the script is the problem, as I just wish it was better. It's at least something different in mainstream horror genre than another pointless remake. Well, again, it may be different, but doesn't equal good in my opinion. Barbarian was a terrible script. I know you're not a fan of Terrifier franchise, but glad that Terrifier 2 is a major box office success. No, I'm not. Even Quiet Place movies. No, I'm not, because it fucked over my friend Michael Keane, the Choice voice. If you want to know why, go ask him. It's something different. Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of bringing up these franchises. Terrifier is at least trying to make a new horror icon. Yeah, but you don't need a 2.5-hour movie, and I don't know. I agree in Indiana Jones 5. 4 looks haggard and tired as he doesn't look happy in the trailer, as I heard he's retiring after Indy 5. Should retire before it. I mean, to be honest, he should have retired after Indiana Jones 4. Fuck those Star Wars Disney ones. He's too old to play Indiana Jones. Yes, I agree. I believe it's going to be more woke agenda with an unlikable stone-faced female. I think that's the initial idea. I would not be surprised, like all these rumors you hear of reshoots, I would not be surprised if they're trying to fix that. And they're trying to, how do I put it, take the worst movie ever and make it less shitty. As much as I hate the Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles movie, remember before it was going to be them from another world and aliens? So I think that movie was going to be much, much worse. And then they changed shit and became still really, really shitty, but just less shitty than what it was going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case as well. If they're trying to change stuff last minute to be slightly less shitty. But it'll still be shitty. Disney's track record lately is nothing but diminishing returns on both streaming and theaters, and at the parks. Even Willow show is a bit flop with ratings. It's trying to shove agenda in your face. It says Mad Mardigan was a loser with no life, and says Willow was never a great sorcerer. Really? Insulting the fans of Willow like myself? Really? Mad Mardigan is a loser and Willow was never a great sorcerer? Oh, great. This is me being a shock face. Catholic Kennedy here is leaving next year. Good riddance. Can be the next day. Lucasfilm needs to take lessons from Warner Bros. David Zalvis, who gets that entertainment makes profit and agenda-driven stuff flops, underperform. That's why he's cleaning house even at DC. I know a lot of people are pissed because Henry Cavill's no longer Superman. I'm fine with that because I don't know if people have selective amnesia, but he's been part of shitty Superman movies. Now you can say it's not his fault, it's the director's fault, it's the writer's fault, and Henry Cavill just got a bad deal. Well, shit happens. Like, people forget Man of Steel at best was a mixed result for people. Not all people, but for a lot of people. And it underperformed. Batman v Superman, for a movie with those two characters, underperformed. Yeah, it made money, but it was they were hoping and thinking it was going to make more. This is the first time you have Batman and Superman in a movie, and they fucked it up. And they made a shitty movie. Justice League was a flop, and it was a shitty movie. So, oh hey, here's a guy who was a Superman in 3 films that didn't really deliver. Oh, I just won't recap. Wow, why are people surprised? I don't know why people are surprised by that. So, I don't care that Henry Cavill is good. Goodbye. Never cared for a Superman. Never gave a shit. Good clean house. I agree the Total Recall remake was bland with no personality. It's been forgotten. The original is still talked about and remembered. We need to let old franchises die. It's better than bringing back stuff like Lethal Weapon. I don't think we need another as it came to a full close in 4. Yeah, we don't need another Lethal Weapon. Not at all. Clerks 3 I rented. Oh my god, it was awful. Why would Kevin Smith want to deconstruct a beloved duo of Dante and Randall into losers with no lives, and Randall becoming an unlikable dick who treated Dante like shit, have Dante killed off, even his fiance was killed off. Made me mad too. It's like The Last Jedi, or Stream 5 of the franchise, wanted to deconstruct beloved characters into losers. Because apparently that's good writing nowadays. One of the worst of the year, plus it was unfunny and poorly written, and the performances were terrible. They had no life in the direction. At least Top Gun Maverick and even A Christmas Story Christmas were successful because they didn't deconstruct Ralphie into losers with no redemption. Even Blade Runner 2049 didn't make Deckard a loser. Well, sadly, Blade Runner 2049 wasn't a success, even though I think it was a damn good movie. And I fucked a little better than that Dune movie. Top Gun Maverick, biggest movie of the year, box office sales and physical media. Christmas Story Christmas being a blockbuster HBO. Hopefully the successes of these should put an end to this awful trend of deconstructing and tearing down beloved film characters. Well, it's not, because we're getting Indiana Jones 5 and Stream 6. Which, oh, did you see the teaser? It's Ghostface in the subway killing someone and no one pays attention. Okay. Halloween Ends is the worst movie of the year for me. It pisses on everything about the franchise. Has a terrible lead. Was dog shit all the way. Even Halloween 3 was better. It attempted to take the franchise to a new direction because John Carpenter's anthology idea was ingenious. Thanks for the Dawn of the Dead commentary. I own the 4K UK import set. Looks amazing in its new restoration. A big fan since I was 12 when I rented it, despite I saw it first in 88 when I was 6 with my big brothers, and then revisited again at 12 and been one of my favorites since. No problem. Thank you. Nice reviews of Batman Beyond. Love that show since 17. Nice Robocop 87 versus 2014 video. Robocop blows a load of robotic cum badly, and Robocop 87 is a classic. Says you enjoy Batman the anime series. Is Catwalk and Bane favorite episodes of yours? Favorites, no, but I didn't mind them for what they were. Catwalk was with Catwoman and Ventriloquist was Starface. Terrible Trio was a crappy episode, but nowhere in Batman in My Basement bad. We love to see Mad Hatter and Starface Ventriloquist in the next Batman movie. That would be nice. I think live action, it'd be hard to incorporate those characters without seeming laughable. Because it'd be hard to incorporate in live action in a more serious tone a guy who's really into Alice in Wonderland, or a guy who talks with a doll. I mean, you go get Jeff Dunham to play him. I mean, it'd be refreshing the fact it's not using the Joker for the 18th time. Maybe if we get the right script, and maybe, I don't know, it'd be tough. It'd be tough to how you incorporate those villains to take them deadly serious as a threat instead of people laughing at it. I think cartoon, because of its format, it works better with those type of characters than it did in live action film. They say that'd be tough. I wouldn't know how you would do it, but I don't know. But thank you for the letter, and thank you for the gifts. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, John and Lindsey. If I don't hear from you before then, I'll try to get this uploaded as soon as I can. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.